Okay, remember what I told you. Be your own boss. Love yourself. Get up and dance. Level
Level
up.
up.
Beat it up like beat it up like
Hey everybody, Letitia M here. Super excited to give you a convention wrap up. Some of us was at the convention. It was amazing. We had an amazing time, not just because we got to kind of network with each other and learn from each other, but we were taught so many different things from so many different presenters. And a lot of the presenters were the suppliers themselves, right? So we got to learn and grow, have a good time, stay up too late, get up too early. But this is going to be a pre to your convention wrap up. I know there's going to be another convention wrap up, but we wanted to make sure you got some information from here as well. So we're going to be going over a lot of different things. As you have questions, let me get that chat room back up because I put it down. All right, excellent. As you have questions, I may be able to peek over there and see some of them, but for the majority of the part, I am going to make sure we have a Q&A session at the end. So try to write down any questions you may have. Any of the PDFs that I'm going to show, I will also make sure that the links for them are going to be on the travel websites, as well as probably at the bottom once I upload this a little bit later today as well. Sammy, I'm not sure. I know they're doing another one, but you know what? If you want to, you can, but we're not worried about how many people attend today, only because we have another convention wrap up that we're gonna do. That's going to be kind of like for all the teams. However, you know I'm about sharing, so girl, here, go ahead and share, because I love to be able to get as many people as possible, so that you know whatever questions they have, we can get to it. All right. So what we're going to be looking at the first part of this is going to be your pregame, the ins and outs of cruising, just kind of like those 5 most commonly asked questions, resort manners and pointers, right? And unlimited growth. Now, the unlimited growth is really going to just be a guide for you. So it's not much for us to go over. I'm going to make sure you just get that guide. But I want to read this right here. People who wonder if the glass is half empty or half full miss the point. The glass is refillable. I love that. I just happened to see that on social media the other day and I took it because this is the truth, right? We always think it's got to be one way or another one, but with this one, it's definitely going to be that kind of inclusive that your glass can always be refilled. It's just, what are you putting in your glass? I mean, you know, some of us are constantly putting water in our glass, but you know what I mean, right? That's just kind of the precedence of what are we putting in there. So speaking of putting things into our glass, I'm gonna take a look at one of the PDFs I have here. If I can get there. There we go. Okay. So this was let me know if you can see what I'm showing. Okay. That is one of the worksheets that we were given during the convention. I'm going to stop my video here so I'm not as much of a distraction. And this is going to be good for you if you are coming new into the business, revamping your business, or just thinking that maybe some of the things that you're doing isn't working and it starts with you, right? So this worksheet was an amazing demonstration done at one of our breakout sessions. So we're going to just kind of go over it. But again, I'm going to make sure that you get this worksheet so that you can either print it, or if you're a smart cookie like me and you use like Microsoft Edge, you can write right on it. All right. So, and maybe I should go to the beginning of this worksheet. That's how things start. They start from the beginning. So you want to explore your personal values. List 3 core values that are important to you in your personal life. All right. So this can be what aligns with not just your personal, but your business goals. Identifying strengths and weaknesses. Identify 3 personal strengths that contribute to your success as a business owner. But you also have to know what is probably not your strong suit. And you want to list those things too, so that you know what you need to work on. Some of us know what our weaknesses are, but we just figure to ourselves, it's not something important that I need to work on. I just need to focus on my strengths. Well, sometimes it may be the things that you're not as strong at that could be holding you and your business back. Setting purpose and vision. She wanted us to write down a vision statement for our business, describing what aspire you to achieve in a long goals, right? So when you think of that, she gave an example, is like to provide high quality products or services to enhance people's lives. So some of us think our business goals is to make money and to live comfortably, but your business goals are what you plan on obtaining for your customer. Now you want to think of balancing your work and personal life. What strategies do you plan to implement to maintain a healthy work-life balance? This is hard for some of us because we are those go-getters. We are those beyond 9-to-5ers. And so she wanted us to think of we don't expect certain other companies to have a 24-hour customer service base. So why do we? Right? We would like some of our services to be able to answer our calls at any time, but when they don't, we understand. We're like, oh, okay, I missed their business hours. So why do we not have business hours? What is your balance? And you have to create that. Accountability and integrity. How do you plan to hold yourself accountable to your business goals and maintain integrity in your action? So in this case, she gave herself a reward. She said that on Thursdays, it was a particular show she would like to watch. So if she didn't do what she was supposed to do throughout that week or throughout that day, she did not get to see that show. Right. So it doesn't have to be a big goal like, oh, I'm saving up for this vacation, or I want this big thing. It doesn't have to be something that is long-term unobtainable. She made herself short goals that if she completed a task, she would get this reward. So those are things that we need to be thinking about. What are we doing daily to reward ourselves for completing a task? And so we need to start implementing those. Continuous learning. What 3 ways will you commit to continuous learning and self-improvement as a business owner? We should always be learning something new techniques. There's always new apps, new ways of doing things. Get yourself an accountability partner and talk to each other about what you're doing. This helps you with your continuous learning, because then maybe you two can take classes together. Empathy and leadership. How will you incorporate empathy into your leadership style to create a positive and supportive work environment? I thought this was really cool because sometimes as leaders, we think everything that we say is the bomb, is correct. People are going to love it, right? But we have to think about it from that other person's point of view. You also have to remember everyone doesn't learn the way you do. Now, one of the other presenters had said something and it really stuck with me. She said, we have sitters, walkers, and runners. Now, you may be a runner, but if you have a bunch of people who you're mentoring that are sitters or walkers, sometimes you have to fall back to their pace, right? Sometimes you want to make sure that you are constantly feeding the right person the right way. And that person can be sitting currently and then get up and become a walker. That walker can now be a runner. Your runner might have come out the gate wanting all the information, doing everything, but now they're a sitter. So you have to constantly be thinking about that. So in order for you to do that, you have to learn how to be more empathetic and supportive to your downline. Really important right there for me. Reflection and action. Reflect on what you've learned through this training worksheet. Identify at least one action step you will take to apply these principles to your personal journey. So that's something that this worksheet is something that I'm going to make sure is uploaded onto the team website, as well as available in our chat so that you can download that. That's just, to me, smart business, great information. All right. So now we're going to look at I told you this, guys, the beginning of this is going to be fast paced because it's so much, but it is being recorded. So the ins and outs of cruising. Now, they weren't going to go into everything that cruising has to offer That's just so much. However, she wanted to look at the 5 most commonly asked questions as someone who sells a lot of cruises herself. So, is there a dress code in the main dining room? A lot of you have been on cruises before, and you have many dining options when you are on a cruise. But when you go into that main dining room, there are a little bit of a higher expectations of how you're going to present yourself in that dining room. So I find that when I've gone, if I went to breakfast in the main dining room, which I didn't realize until like midway cruise, best dinner, the best breakfast ever, honestly. Casual or smart casual is acceptable. Okay, so that is what you want to let your client know. There is a description there for those casual and smart casual moments. But when you are there at night, majority of the time, it is formal wear. Okay, so and smart casual is accepted as well, especially when it's not maybe one of the events. So you want to keep this in mind for your first time cruisers. You should be qualifying your client anyway and asking them, is this their first time cruising? This is a little bit of information you might want to be able to provide them with, because you don't want them to bring clothes and they're all underdressed, or they bring way too many formal outfits. So this can definitely help your clients, and they will be very much appreciative for it. Are passports required to cruise out of the United States? This is going to be depending on, of course, the cruise line, and if it is a closed loop travel, right? So that means that it begins and ends at the same port in the United States and travel within the Western Hemisphere. So a lot of the times, US citizens can circuit on a closed loop, but in places where proof of citizenship is required, they can use an enhanced driver's license, a government issued birth certificate, or passport. All right, so those are things that you want to think about, but it is up to you to do the additional legwork, because you don't want to sell a cruise and then that person can't go on it. They are not going to be too happy with you, right? Is all food included on a cruise? Some people come with the notion that all the food is always included on a cruise. Is there breakfast? Yes. Is there lunch? Yes. Is there dinner? Yes. But does that mean every restaurant is included? No. Sometimes there are specialty restaurants that will charge you out of pocket for dining in those specialty facilities. So you want your customer to be aware. It is very easy for us to look up and see which ones do have the information. And then that way we can make sure we're providing it to them as sure as we can. Now, are you able to bring drinks, alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages on board? Now, I did find that I've seen some people able to bring cases of water. And I told some of my clients how to do that. But each cruise line does have their they do have their own descriptions on what is acceptable, and you want to be aware of that. As you can see, a lot of them will allow you to bring a 750 milliliter bottle of a sealed or unopened bottle of wine or champagne, right? And so you just have to see what are their rules for that. So like Norwegian takes a unique rule to this. You can bring on bottles, it says, of wine and champagne. It has to be bought on upon embarkment, and they still take the bottles from you, assign them to your room. And when you go to restaurants, if you want it in a public area or if you want it in your stateroom, they charge you an uncorking fee. All right, so you want to be aware of what those uncorking fees are going to be per bottle. But this is a way that you can enjoy champagne or wine with your friends or family that are cruising with you. Disney also allows for you to bring a maximum of 2 bottles, again, unopened, wine or champagne. All right. And they even let you bring beer. I was like, oh, okay, go ahead, Disney. They understand you're there with your kids and you want some me time. So you just have to know what the rules are, know what their regulations are, so that you are able to get that information to your to your clients in a very smart way, so that if they are celebrating something, even if you want to send something to your clients, let's say if you sent them a bottle to their cabin on Norwegian, that uncorking fee still applies. So again, you want to think about that client before you do anything like that. Now, when should you arrive to your destination? I see that Courtney said something. I would mention passports as well, since they mentioned that depends on the cruise line, as they supersedes everything if they say mandatory. Yeah, that's why I was saying that you definitely still want to check with that cruise line about that closed loop or multi-ports, because it could be, I know one of them was, if as long as you didn't get off, if you did not have a passport, then you could still board and disembark back at the home port, but it would be you would be checked getting back on board. So if you got off at a different country, that could pose a problem. So that is why you definitely want to make sure you're checking with that cruise line on their rules. All right. So when should you arrive at your cruise destination? Well, if you're flying into your port, it's highly recommended to fly in at least the day before, right? So that's why we always try to tell them, let's get you a hotel one day before near the port, so that we know that you're not going to have any problems. Everyone who came back from Vegas experienced something, whether it was a 20-minute delay, 30-minute delay. Some people were 12-hour delay. I know somebody's flight was completely canceled and they had to rebook with a whole different airline. So, and it was over 700 people that was going to this conference. So when you're looking at the level of issues you can have, I'm telling you, I believe it was Emily had a whole crew of people not show up. All the stewardess did not show up for any of the flights. You can't predict that. So I would rather have all of my messiness the day before, knowing that I'm going to be on time for my cruise. And there was something that they also showed us for cruises was, don't be afraid if they're not too far to have them even drive out. That's a good way for them to save on air. All right, so that is the ins and outs of cruising, the 5 most commonly asked questions. Doesn't mean that there's not more that we can learn from cruises, but this was a good worksheet for people who do book cruises. And you can incorporate a lot of these questions or inquiries or just suggestions when you are making those sales. So, can everybody else hear me? Jen, if you can't hear me, you may want to come out the room and come back in. Yeah, because I'm getting a lot of yeses. So you might want to come, pop out the room, come back in, check your sound. Sometimes you have to select how you want to hear things and just make sure that you click on that as well. All right, so now let's look at the resort manners and pointers. Now, I have been on a lot of resorts that were all inclusive, and I'm sure a few of you here have been as well. So these were just some tips that we can give our clients, because we may not think about it. When you do it, when you go on it, you don't think about what that other person who is new to this may need this little tip. So I thought this was a nice little worksheet as well to be able to provide. You can even just send it to your client as part of the package that you send them after they finish their booking with you, right? So it says, prior to traveling, make a copy of your passport. Always good to have in case of emergency, right? Print out any documents you need. Don't just rely on having it on your phone. Anything can happen to your phone. All right. You can lose it. It can get damaged. The screen can be cracked. And that way, any QR code that they're trying to scan may not be scannable at this point. So if you not just rely on having it on your phone, but also have the printed documents. And sometimes I do actually print them and mail them to my customer prior to their vacation. So I make sure I take care of them on that end. Notify your credit card company that you'll be traveling out of the country. How many of you have traveled and had your credit card shut down just because you were not where you normally are? That's like, I remember that used to happen to me all the time. And so I had to become a smart traveler years ago and remember to notify them that I am going to be flying, and they will ask you, well, where all are you going? So I would tell them if I was on a cruise going to different countries, I would give them all the countries. If I was going across the country, I would just tell them exactly the state that I'm going to. So that kind of takes care of me not being embarrassed because I had a transaction decline, not because I didn't have the funds in it, but because they were trying to protect me from a spam, transaction. So, we thank our credit card companies for being smart cookies, but sometimes when you're in that moment, you are swearing them out, right? Make sure they are checking with their mobile phone companies, especially if they are traveling out of the country. Sometimes they may be charged an additional $10 a day. They would rather be charged that additional $10 a day than roaming charges plus calls, right? So if they're going to be using their phone, maybe to just post on social media while they're traveling, which I sometimes tell my customers is a no-no. I tell my customers, wait until you get back home to post all of those beautiful photos of your vacation. The last thing you want is people knowing you're out of town. All right. So to make phone calls, things like that, maybe check in with any sitters. I have fur babies, so sometimes I have to check in on my sitters, right? But please don't use it to post while you're out. You never know what could happen, and you would rather be safe than sorry. Most all-inclusive resorts have dress codes requiring long pants and closed-toed shoes for men in their restaurants. So you want to check their websites for a specific resorts, for a specific resort's rules to see what their requirements are. Some accept jeans, whereas others do not. All right, so tipping is allowed at most resorts. Sandals being the exception, they do not want you to tip. So they said, do this at your discretion. Some people still tip anyway. They said, take small bills with you, 1s and 5s, as they may not be able to change larger bills at the hotel. So you don't want to pull out a 20 and ask them if they have change, right? That's kind of rude. So they said, like for bar drinks, it's like $1. I know that for casino as well. When I'm at the casino and I'm getting a drink, tipping $1 is usually acceptable because she's going to see me often. Wait staff at buffet meals, $2 per guest. Wait staff at served breakfast, lunch, $3 per guest. Wait staff at served dinners, $5 per guest. Luggage handlers, $2 per bag. Drivers anywhere between $5 and $10. And daily housekeeping, $5. And she says she likes to leave a little note. I've only left a note once, but that lady was the bomb. And we did it like, I think about $6 or $7 a day. So, and room service, $3 per guest. All right. Now this tip here, I found refreshing because I didn't even think about it. I actually did it by accident once, but I didn't even think about this as being a tip. So they said for those frozen drink cups, they're usually pretty small, right? And when you're on vacation, I don't know about you, but I don't need no small drinks. Okay. So it said, take an insulated cup, like a Yeti cup, for your frozen drinks. And when you take it to the bar, or if you get it to a waiter, they will fill your cup. So that's such a better accommodation for you than those small little drinks to be able to have, because they'll just fill it. They don't care. It's the same thing from you ordering 10 drinks anyway. Hopefully you're not ordering 10 drinks. So I was on vacation once. We were off the ship and we had these little pouches. And I asked the person if they can make the drink and put it in my pouch. And she was like, yeah, girl, no problem. Now I'm like, wow, why didn't I even think about that? I could have been doing this all the time once I read this tip. So I think this is a really hot tip to tell your customers, bring an empty cup with them to be able to use while they are traveling. All right. They said, use the safe in your room for your valuables. Rooms are generally not ready until 3 p.m. And I know this well. I know this tip well. I do this all the time. Make sure you pack a swimsuit and sunscreen in your carry-on so you can enjoy the pool, beach when you arrive. I have done this plenty of times, had the hotel or resort hold my luggage. I open up my bag and I pull out my bathing suit bag. Me and my husband go change and we go right to the beach. And it's when we're done, by the time we come back, everything is all good and ready. And we can go take our showers and get ready for the rest of our day. So I love that tip. That's a really good one. Depending on your resort, some restaurants require reservations. So again, you want to consider this, look at the property before you book it with your client, and you can easily make them aware of this. All right. You may be approached by people at the resort trying to sell their vacation club timeshare. They may offer you something free to sit on their presentation, which can last hours. If you're not interested, tell them you're a travel agent and they will leave you alone. This is like the best tip ever. Tell your client to tell them they are a travel agent and they won't be approached any further. All right. So I thought this was really cool. And then that seaweed sargassum, is that what it's called? Is naturally occurring event and is a product of Mother Nature. It can't be predicted when or where it will occur, but each resort does their best to remove it once it washes ashore. So it's no way that you can predict that. So I would even probably take this sentence and maybe put it into, especially if you know somebody's going specifically for a beach vacation, so that if there is a huge amount of seaweed that has washed ashore, they're not grossed out. They don't feel disappointed. They were fair warned though. All right. So again, this is going to be one of the worksheets that you will receive. So I love this one here. I'm going to go into this further in the presentation, but they were giving us a worksheet that will tell us which hotels are family friendly, adults only, look, even with butler services, who has nightlife, so that when we're looking at a lot of these all-inclusives, these are some of the popular ones. You kind of know where to look from based off of your client's needs. So if your client is saying that they want that that adult only vacation, you kind of have a hint right away on some of the properties that will be able to accommodate their needs. All right. Then if you have some that are like, I need kid zones, I need babysitters, I need this, then boom, we have it listed for you. And as I stated, I'm just kind of flying by this one because I am going to go over dreams, secrets, sultry, breathless, and I believe one more kind of in more detail. All right. So we'll come back to that one. Now, this social media guide, guys, they go over a little bit of where they are in their numbers, how they approached it, whether from travel and sales or team building. They want you can follow them to kind of see what they're doing, how they're making those videos. I loved the demonstration that they showing this information, the step-by-step. Who will you talk to? Do you know how to do this? Copy the right cat, right? Copycats. So you want to make sure that you're copying someone or imitating a style that is unique, yet very intuitive to what we do. All right. So then they show just pretty much, you want to look and see who your audience is. And most of the social media will allow you to pull up so that you can see who your audience is currently, so that if you're trying to grow a specific audience, you know how to kind of maybe change your brand, flip it up a little bit, be more creative towards that audience's need. They give you the tools, and all you have to do if you want this inspiration is to come all the way to the bottom. You're going to scan that QR code. Don't worry about scanning it right now because you're going to get this as well. But when you scan that, they're going to put you up to the challenge and show you how to do phase 1, phase 2, and to get those closing deals, right? Because that's what we all want. We want those closing deals. So these were just some of the worksheets that we got that they uploaded during and after the convention that we wanted to make sure that we brought to you as well. All right. So let's look and see what else we have. Now, these are going to be actual photos that people were taking. So as you can see, some of them are slanted, but trust me, the information, I'm going to give it to you. All right. So one of the suppliers that we were able to speak with was Delta. And they talked not only about the Delta Vacation brand itself, but they also talked about just flights alone. And they had some amazing things that go on with just their flights. So the first thing that they wanted us to be accustomed to was the different experiences, right? Is your customer need to be a main cabiner? Do they want to be able to have a good cost, but still be comfortable? Do they want that Delta comfort, where it's going to be a little bit more up class? It's going to have a little bit more extra room in that seat. They're going to have a little bit of a better experience, right? They don't even talk about basic economy. Notice I skipped that one. because they said with the basic economy, they are trying not even to sell those anymore. They're actually trying to get rid of that whole area and just go from main cabin and up. All right. So then first class. What's the beauty about first class? Well, it's freaking first class, right? We all want that. Who wants that first class experience? Let me see yeses in this chat. We all want that first class experience. So yes, Courtney, I know I want that. I guess it's just me and you who want it. There we go, Alice. Hey, Alice. She was at convention. She knows what I'm talking about. So when you want that first class experience, you have to also think about, how is your customer going to want it? How can I make sure that they get this? Well, there's a lot of deals and there's a lot of ways that we can help our customers to get these first class experiences by utilizing SkyMiles, by utilizing their point system. They give us so many different options that we did not have before, and all of them are commissionable. Before, if a customer said that they wanted to use their SkyMiles and we were able to take some of the costs off with their SkyMiles, we weren't paid commission. I didn't know that. But now, even if your customer uses their SkyMiles to pay for their whole vacation, we still get 100% of the commission we're owed. So that is definitely a game changer with Delta. I was very impressed by that part of the presentation because, anytime we heard somebody wanted to use SkyMiles, we'd be like, oh, well, we can connect you and you can use your SkyMiles or you can book it separately. All of the different things that we would have to tell them because we weren't able to redeem them. And remember, before you couldn't redeem them, but I can add your your account number. It's not a called account number, but guys know what I'm saying. And that way you can get the points from this trip added. But unfortunately, nope, all of that is gone. With Delta, they're nipping that in the bud. They listen to their customers, they listen to their agents, and they decided to make a difference. All right. So then you also have the Delta Premium Select, and they said that definitely for long haul, they have that foot cushion that will pop up for you. And so, it definitely makes that journey a lot easier. They said it's kind of like you're almost in your own pod, not pod figuratively, but you're kind of like in your own pod because it definitely makes it and creates it to be your own world. And of course, that Delta One long haul international by far, right? Where you get to lay back completely and sleep, especially when you're on a flight for 12 hours or more. So you want to make sure that you are selecting the right type of experience for your customer and explain to them why, you would rather them pay a little bit more and get what they need than to fly like me and regret it every day of your life. Because my flight was terrible. I won't even say who it was, Frontier, but it was terrible. And so the other beauty part about Delta right now is that they're working with a conglomerate, right? Everybody's partnering up. It's a smart way to do things. And so you have Delta, Virgin Atlantic, KLM, Air France, Aero Mexico, Korean Air, and LATAM. So if your customer, let's say, starts off with Delta, but then their return is with one of these other airlines, they're still within the hub of the airlines that is going to take care of them with their air miles and with whatever else came in their package. All right. So if they were given 2 check bags and 1 carry-on, it doesn't matter who else they fly with, they get the same respect from that airlines. So that is something that I thought was really important for us to note, because you never know sometimes who you're going to fly. And if they try to stick you on a flight that's not within that hub, then to get in contact with customer service and make sure we get back into our hub for that client. Now, why book with Delta Vacations? This is where we come in with our money. It's always about what's in it for me. All right. So commission paid on all air. I will say that again. Commission paid on all air. 5% on international and Hawaii, 3% domestically. All right. On published and unpublished flights. And on all classes of service. You know how sometimes we'll go there and they'll say, well, it's only for preferred and up, or it's only for this and that. Even the one I went on, the discount was only for certain class and up. So with this, we know that we're going to get it for all classes. All right. Archer Travel Land Commission for those packages. No, because look at the next thing I'm about to say. Archer Travel Land Commission, 15% and 16% on all Mexico and Caribbean hotels. So now if I'm just booking the land, that's 15 and 16%. If I'm just booking the air, it's 5 and 3. So no, because you can actually go to Delta Vacations and book just air. You don't have to book a whole package. Yes. Access to all fare classes up to the last seat. So this was another thing, and some of the other ones do this as well. So let's say if the flight is 70% sold out, even though there are more seats available, as a travel agent, they may not sell it to us. All right. But what Delta is saying is if it's the last seat and you got a client who needs that last seat, we will sell it to you. All right. So that is a game changer, because sometimes we think something is sold out and then it turns out it wasn't. So this is definitely a really good game changer. Thank you, Delta. Over 300 destinations worldwide, exclusive hotel selections, and hundreds of commissionable activities, tours, and excursions. How many of us have booked something and we were told we are not going to get the commission for any activities, tours, or excursions? Delta is saying, nope, we're going to give it to you. All right. Outstanding sales support. That's right. 24-hour customer care, reservations, and destination help desks. So no matter where your customer is, no matter where you are in the US, if you need assistance for yourself booking the reservation or your customer who is about to head out to that destination, they have 24/7 support. A commitment to education with industry-leading online educational training and exclusive webinars. So they have really beefed up their training portal so that we can get a better understanding on how to sell, who to sell to, the specials and deals, and just, the webinars to kind of keep us empowered and utilizing their services. All right. One-stop shopping for all Delta Vacation products and destinations. Earn rewards to go points for your own personal travel. We love rewards. All right. We love building up those points because those are free vacations for us. This is another game changer, guys. I want you to pay attention to this line. Flexible hold, deposits, and payments, including up to 72-hour holds with lock-in savings. How many times have you given your customer a quote? They've taken 24 to 48 hours to make a decision. You go back in there and it is either no longer available or higher than what you originally quoted. How embarrassing is that, right? They have a 72-hour hold with locked-in savings. Love it. And of course, our travel agent incentives and special offers to help you close more sales. A lot of people was really excited about what Delta had to offer. Well, I should just say had to say, because a lot of this information here is impactful for a lot of our businesses. If you have not gone to Delta Vacations to see what they can offer for any of your clients, with all of this going on right now, especially if you have a client that does travel often, even if they're not a Delta Miles person, you can get them to be. All right. So they're encouraging not just us, obviously, to become Sky Miles travelers, but our clients because of this right here. All right. They can earn between 1,000 and 5,000 bonus miles per person, no minimum purchase required. So if they utilize 5,000, if they get 5,000 bonus miles on a package, it's because they spent 10,000 or more, right? They're going to get 2,000 bonus miles on a package for spending 5,000 to almost 10 grand. And if they want that 1,000 bonus miles, they're going to be spending anywhere from, I would say the basic package is going to be 600 to 4,999. All right. So what this means is they're already going to get their normal bonus miles for flights and for booking the packages. But if they are also hitting these specific price points, they're going to get those bonus miles. And then they get 2 to 3 bonus miles per dollar spent when packages are purchased when they use their Delta Miles American Express card. So they are encouraging us to send that customer to Delta to get the American Express card and come back and pay for their package using it so they can get all of that bonus miles, and then they can use their bonus miles on their next vacation. This is a way that we never leave money on the table. They also have a lot of plans just for travel agents. And as a travel agent, you can use your American Express card, your Delta Sky Miles American Express card, or if you already have points, you can even use your points for your own vacation. Just saying. So how many of you are stuck between, I don't know, I don't care, and I don't give a, who said that? Who said that just now? I don't know. What is your motivation, guys? Determine what is going to be the glue that holds it together. My reason for being here and your reason for being here are just two different motivational points. So I want you to sit back for a second, watch this motivational video. This got us all popping. Anybody who went there will know this video right away. I did clip it because it is 11 minutes long.
Legacy. There's power in your name. Power in your name. McDonald's is a last name. Abercrombie and Fitch, last names. Armani is a last name. Baskin Robbins is a last name. Chrysler is a last name. Fisher Price, Gucci, Hennessy, Harley Davidson, Hilton, Honda, Kohl's, Kraft Foods, Lowe's Movie Theater, Marriott is a last name. Maybach is a last name. Nordstrom is a last name. Pillsbury is a last name. Porsche is a last name. Procter & Gamble, two last names. Rolls Royce, Charles Rolls, Henry Royce, last names. Turner Broadcast System, Ted Turner, last name. Versace, last name. Wells Fargo, Henry Wells, William Fargo, last name. Walgreens, last name. Wrigley's, last name. Welch's Grape Juice, last name. Here you are, you think you're buying a product. You are not buying a product, you're buying a name. You think you're wearing a product. Hey, look at this product. No, you're saying, look at this family. And what you don't know is while you're making every family rich, you're making yourself broke. So you done went to one family called Wells Fargo and got $200,000 so you can go to another family called Rolls Royce so you can give them money to get yourself a car so you can go back to the hood and see the Joneses and say, look at what I got. Meanwhile, Wells Fargo, their family's sitting up being rich, and Harley Davidsons and Rolls Royce are being rich, and the Joneses are sitting there holding up people's stuff saying, look at what we did and we broke. What if I told you that your blessing is attached to your name? That part of the reason why you're not wealthy yet is because you keep trying to make Yolanda wealthy. You keep trying to make Tasha wealthy. What if you made Johnson's wealthy? What if you started thinking about your kids? What if you started thinking about your legacy? What if God started dropping Canaan and opening up windows of heaven? Because now you're not just thinking about you, you're thinking kingdom. There are some people who are attached to you who saying, Mama, can you do something with this name? There's some people who are saying, Dad, can you do something with this name? Maybe God gave you the name to change and reverse some of the stuff that the name meant one day. I wish there was somebody in this room that say my name might mean one thing right now, but I promise after today, this name's getting ready to change. I promise after today, everybody's gonna want my last name. I'm here to let you know you are a curse breaker. You're thinking kingdom. You are not just getting married, you're breaking a curse. You are not just graduating from college, you're breaking a curse. You are not just getting out of high school, you're breaking a curse. You are not just saved, you're breaking a curse. And everybody around you is about to be blessed because of what God's getting ready to do in your life. I don't know what my name meant before I got here, but I know what's gonna mean before I leave. You got a legacy. Power in your name.
All right, guys, I want you to see me because I have my notebook out. I know that was powerful, right? And I didn't even give it you the way that it was given to us. Amy Cabrera is the one who who played this video for us during her part of a presentation. And it was called Building a Legacy, a Journey of an Entrepreneur. And so she included pictures of her family and some of the other people in Evolution Travel, and just showing that they are building a legacy, right? So here is where you're going to take notes. One, what is your opportunity? When you got this opportunity, you had excitement, you made plans, and you wanted to execute things. But what we did not see that was going to come was going to be the cracks within our business. Time, procrastination. It's just a hobby. I don't have to take this serious. Discouragement, self-doubt, and excuses, right? Excuses. That's right. I bought a notebook to convention, all right? So that I didn't have any excuses when I got home, okay? So there's going to be a storm that happens. It can happen your first month. It can happen in 6 months. It can happen a year. It can happen 2 years in this business. And that storm is going to rock the foundation of your business. So you want to make sure your foundation is ready. All right. So here are the things that we're going to do to make sure that our foundation is ready for any storm. All right. Taking notes. First, we need to get our inspiration and our motivation in check. What is my why? Create your purpose. The initiative. You have to take action. No one can take action for you. They may try, but it's up to you to live it. Ownership. Take control of your life, of your time, of your money, of the people around you. All right. Whatever you have to do, you have to take your ownership, because it is your business. It is not my business. Now we need to look at the glue. We have to create a process. With everything we do, there should be a way to start it and a way that it ends. All right. So you have to create your process. You can look at other people's process, but is that ultimately what's going to make you happy and successful? Sacrifice. You have to realize what your priority in your business is. Okay. That is, and she put in here, that is a must. Prioritizing yourself into your business. Mindset. Sometimes we have to train our mind. We have to rethink the way we think things. That goes back into the first thing that I was showing you, that worksheet, right? Because when you train your mind, you're constantly always learning something. So if you are not already kind of trained to be able to sit in a class, to sit in a presentation, to learn something, to take notes, and to implement what you've learned, you might as well quit now. And I hate to tell you to quit, because we don't like no quitters around here. But you have to do what you have to do. Make the time. There's 24 hours in a day. Some of us are up 18 hours out of that 24 hours a day. What are you doing with your time? You need to make sure you are always doing income producing activities. All right. If you're doing something and it is not going to be feeding into your income, feeding into your business to make a way, to pave a way, to keep moving forward, you're wasting your time. All right. That's when it becomes a hobby. Release your excuses. This is something I have to do. This is something a lot of us have to do, right? We have to look at, what do we keep complaining about? Why am I still complaining about it? Let it go. These are 4 words I want you to write down: confidence, capability, courage, and commitment. Confidence, capability, courage, and commitment. I am confident in my ability. I am capable. I have the courage to succeed. I am committed to my success. When you get those things down, yes, hold on, I'm going to it. There we go. So when you have those 4 things that you write down, and this is now your mantra, you are going to see your business become more successful, your engagements with people, you're going to have a better success rate with the people you engage with, right? But if you are not confident, if you're not capable, if you don't have the courage to do it, and if you're not committed, then you got to go back to step one, honey, because you're missing something. You better watch that video again, right? And she ended it with saying, we are a curse breaker and we are legacy makers. All right. So I want you to write that down. We are curse breakers and we are legacy makers. I love it. I loved it. I loved it. And before I go on, there was one more story. And you had to be there to really live it. So I'm only going to give you the bullet points of what he wanted for us to get out of it. Charles Lee stood there with his wife, Nikki Lee, in a photo, and he was telling us about his story. So after he finished telling us their story, and we got to see Nikki Lee say, I'm tired of being effing broke like 1,000 times. If you saw the video, you know what I'm saying. It was hilarious. But the things he wanted us to get out of it is how we talk to people around us, how we communicate. When you are explaining to someone this business, or to someone your success, or if you're trying to get them to understand where you are right now. And I talked about this in pitching in your sales pitch, right? So he says, step one is to tell your story. Your story is not my story. Can't be. You can walk in my shoes, but you'll never live the same way I lived. So tell your story. In your intro, who are you? Just a few credentials. I am Letitia, Gold Consultant. I am the lead of Team Level Up. I am a 20-year entrepreneur. I have seen success come and go. I've been in a lot of different industries, and some of them have been the media. And I love what I do when I work at home. All right. So just a few things about yourself. Now you got to say what wasn't working for you, because it's easy to tell people about your level of success. It's easy for us to list our accolades, but you have to tell somebody what wasn't working for you. And for Nikki Lee, she was tired of being an effing broke, right? And I'm saying effing, honey, she did not. Okay. Next is, what was your aha moment? What was it that brought you here, that made you think that this was going to change your life? You saw something in that informational meeting. You saw something in your neighbor who was doing travel. You saw something that gave you an aha moment, right? And they said when they had their aha moment and it transformed their life, then they lost everything overnight. They were almost platinum, and then they lost everything. And so he said they had to go into the dungeon. And they said when they go into the dungeon, they wasn't literally going into the basement of their house. They weren't locking themselves behind bars, right? The dungeon to them was when they were so stuck into what they were doing. They were team building, they were selling, they were doing whatever they needed to do, and they were not coming up for air until they reached the goals that they were setting for themselves. They were not going to hang out with friends. They were not going to shows. They were supposed to go to one of the conferences, and they were going to get an award. And they said, we're not where we want to be right now, so we are not coming. All right. So what is your dungeon like? What do you do in your dungeon? All right. And then the last thing you're going to tell in your story is what you did to improve your life for your success. What changed? Your aha moment gave you that inspiration. And then what did you change in your life to give you that level of success? So I really thought their story was great. I'm going to put my notebook down for a minute. I do have some other things I'm going to read from it. But in the meantime, I'm going to take me off camera. All right. So now let's look at some world famous failures. And I'm not going to read this list because, it's not even showing up on your screen. Hold on. Let me pop out and try to pop back in. Don't you love it when your presentation just does everything that you wanted to do in life? All right. I'm coming back, guys. I just needed that. Don't know why that didn't pop up. All right. Put this over here. All right. Everybody can see my screen again. Hopefully. Let me make sure. All right, there we go. So the yeah, I got it. Thank you. Thank you, Precious. Hey, Precious. All right. So world famous failures. Like I said, I'm not going to read this list. You guys can kind of glance over it yourselves. The point of this was to show us that even the most successful people we have ever heard of in our entire lives have failed big time, have lost everything and had to build themselves back up. Thought they had the best idea going and it turned out not so great, right? Everybody was not loving what they do. So what makes you think you're so different? Precious Carol, you stop. What makes you think you're so different? She said Beyonce never failed at anything. This is a lie. So, honey, she did. She failed at what was it? Not the talent show. She was on one of the talent shows on TV and they did not win, and it's okay because she winning now. Winning. So when you think about people who are making a million times more, are in TV, radio, everything, and they have failed, why don't you think you're allowed to fail? You're allowed to, and it's okay. It's what you do after you have failed that makes the difference. All right. So I'm sorry that some of these are slanted. Remember, these are photos from the convention. Star Search, that was it. So, I just wanted to make sure that we got it. So, okay. Ways to help your failures become success. You want to accept your mistakes, right? Take a break. And I love this one because it says if you're burnt out, take some time off, even if it's a vacation, a 30-minute show, or just a music break, right? Get up and dance those woes away and get back into it. Investigate what went wrong. Write down all the things that went wrong, or maybe the cause of the problem so that you know what to eliminate out of your life. Go through, pinpoint each weak area and come up with a different solution. You can even work with your mentor on what you can do to improve. And if they don't know, work with your mentor's mentor. And if they don't know, talk to the people in the chat. That's what we're here for. All right. Learn your lessons. If you cannot learn from your failures, you are doomed to repeat them because you really thought that idea you had was just a bomb. All right. So with each mistake you make, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Envision a new beginning. Think about the things you love and how you can build a great foundation this time around. Don't see starting over as a setback. Instead, see it as an exciting opportunity. We got to stop with the negative way of thinking, guys. Be consistent and confident. Consistency builds confidence. Know your purpose, yourself, your value, your self-growth, and value the process. That was a great side. Don't fall backwards, fall forwards. Have faith in your own abilities. Be grateful in life. Stop comparing yourselves. How many of y'all in here is comparing yourselves to someone else and their level of success? You may not want to admit it to me. That's okay. Admit it to yourself. Thank you, Alice. I compare myself because I always think, how can I get to that level of success? But it said, stop comparing yourselves to anyone. You are only in competition with yourself. So if this day you got a booking, next week, you want to get 3 bookings, be in competition with yourself. Don't look at the person who got a $10,000 booking and they've only been here for 3 weeks. Who cares? They got lucky. That don't mean they're going to get that every time. Right? So you need to stop being in competition with others and start being in competition with yourself. All right. So I didn't go over all the bullet points because, you have the chance to read them here yourself. But I know that one of the things that as at-home business owners, one of the things that we struggle with is being grateful and comparing ourselves. We can't help it. We see what everybody else is doing. They're constantly posting it in our face, but sometimes we think that we can't be there too. And so I want you guys to be in competition with yourself, stay true to yourself, and do better than you did yesterday. All right. So again, I came back to people who wonder if the glass is half empty or half full, miss the point. The glass is refillable. Your well is refillable. It is not tapped out just yet. All right. All right. Enough motivational beating over your heads, right? Let's get back into it. So we had Walt Disney World come and pay us a visit, and they have a brand new representative. Don't you love that this slide is actually facing us? I love it. And so when we thought of, she had a lot of different information to say, but here are just some of the game changers for you guys. When you are talking to that customer who might be interested in that travel, a lot of their broad offers right now are already 25% off as long as they are traveling between October 2nd through the 25th. All right. And then they have some other deals that are between October 22nd and November 2nd. And then it picks back up the 26th through the 25th. Those, they consider those kind of like holiday moments. And so, and I know the reason for the October one is because they are going to bring back their Halloween parades and things like that. So those specific dates also have those 25% off for people who are traveling. All right. And it says as long as it's booked by, I'm sorry, it says booking begins June 15th. All right. So just in a couple more weeks, I'm sorry, it's already passed. I'm thinking July. So we are now able to access a lot of these specials. Girl, they showed his costume. He was adorable. You're right. It wasn't scary, but it was adorable. Florida residents, 30% off, right? Pass holders up to 35% off. And Disney Plus subscribers are up to 35% off. So this is a resource that a lot of us haven't even thought about tapping into when we're talking to those customers. And sometimes we see those prices and we're like, oh, well, let's look at another vacation for you. Ask them if they're a Disney Plus subscriber because they can save up to 35% off. And they kind of stress that with this one right here, right? And again, the deal has already began. And it is for most nights. And the deals and discounts and exclusions are available on our travel professional website. The other thing that they showed us is how we can pre-qualify those Disney Plus subscribers. Because if you tell somebody, oh, are you a Disney Plus subscriber? You know, because I can get you 35% off, they might be like, yeah, and then they're not, right? So you can ask them for their Disney Plus email or login. You don't need their password at all. We do not need their password. When you book the offer, when you pick the offer, as you're going through the booking itself, you have up until Wednesday after the date that you booked it to enter it into this Disney Plus qualifier client verification that you will find on the website. All right. So if you book something on Tuesday, you have to have it in by Wednesday. But if you book something on Thursday, you don't have to have it in until the following Wednesday. So when Wednesday is kind of like your cutoff mark, and that's when you know that you have to have that information. The only thing you need is the user ID, and they said it's the email address that the client uses to log into their Disney Plus account, the main person. All right. And then that way you can make sure that they won't hit them back and say, it turns out you're not a Disney Plus subscriber, so you do not qualify for this offer. You want to make sure you qualify that client. All right. Then they showed us a quick itinerary for the Disney cruises. So if you have somebody that's interested in a Disney cruise, this was a good quick guide for you to be able to see what the cruises names are and where they're cruising to for that time period. So Magic, as you can see, is in Puerto Rico. It started on May 20th. It will go through September. And they have a 5-night one that's just going to be circling San Juan. They have one from Fort Lauderdale, and that one is a, let's see what that says, 3-night Bohemian with Lighthouse Point preview. All right. And they sell those by 3, 4, and 5 night Bohemian night cruises. Then you have the Wonder, which is in Vancouver. They have that set up for 5, 7, and night Alaskan cruises. The Dream has a whole little tour here, right? In May, it was doing 13 days in the Florida Everglades, because I can't speak. And June, they were in Italy. And May through July, the Dream is also touring through Spain. Then you have the rest of July through September. It's going to be in Southampton, England. And it shows they have 12, 7, 4, 3, 4, 7, and 7 nights in different areas throughout the Southampton, England. And then you have, let's see, Fantasy, Port Carnival. They have 5, 6, 7, and even a 10 night circling the Caribbean. And the Wish is doing the one Port Carnival, for 3 and 4 night Bohemian cruises from June to September. So if you needed a quick guide, guys, you can ask me for the slide, or you can go directly to their website. This information came directly from the website. All right. So let us move on. So Carnival had so much to tell us, so much to share, but a lot of it was about the specific boats and the differences in their cruising. So the two things that we wanted to make sure that you understood was this is the ports. This is all of them. All right. And so they were saying that a lot of people don't want to fly. So it's if they want to drive to their local port and then stay in a hotel and then go on a cruise, they have it, as you can see, it's kind of trimmed around bottom parts of the US. Right. So as long as they live somewhere that is drivable, they said that that was the key. They wanted to try to make them drivable so that that customer does not have to fly if they do not wish to fly. But then they are going to be kind of constrained to what that port does. Some people, I've had customers that wanted to leave out of a certain port, but wanted to go on a certain type of cruise. Well, unfortunately, I cannot make that happen for you. I cannot make a cruise do something it's not designed to do. If it's designed to be at this port to do a Caribbean cruise is going to be. If you're looking for a more Asian destination, then you need to head west. So you just have to think about what that customer wants, and then you can see where the ports are. Thought this was a smart little map. I like that. Now, the next thing that they had to show us was how we can make our personal brand with their tools in social media, the virtual cruise themed parties, email newsletters that we can receive and we can actually pass on to our customers. And by making it our own personal brand, we do have a travel agent reduce rates to market ourselves. So you can always utilize those to get some really inexpensive cruises. So then you're taking your pictures, your videos, and then you're doing what? Bringing them back and using them to market yourself for, as a cruise specialist, right? Create your own blog or vlog, and they allow you to use a lot of their videos and flyers for those. They're saying use Evolution Travel free Carnival marketing videos. They do have videos on the, I believe it's the Travel Cafe that we can use to promote ourselves. And then, of course, Archer has it where they can design custom flyers for us through the shop.archertravel.com. This last one, be careful with, because how many workshops do we have on Canva? All right. So save your money and make sure you're making your own flyers. What did they say? Save the horse, ride a cowboy, save your money, make your own flyer. Now, Norwegian had some interesting things to tell us about group travel. And one of the things that was a great takeaway for us who are interested in group travel, who are going to be booking it soon, or just want more information. When you do the affinity group program, you get to select 2 different amenities to reward your clients with for booking that group travel with you. So it says in Group A, the amenities are a free open bar. Well, why the heck not? Specialty dining. We just said that not all cruises, every dining experience is free. So now they've just earned themselves a free dinner at one of those specialty restaurants, right? Free Wi-Fi. And shore excursion credits. That all comes with Group A. So now Group B has the 10 photo package. Every time I go on a cruise, my family wants to take group photos and pay these professionals. I don't know what's wrong with us. But if we were to go with Norwegian, we could at least get that package for free. Then they have 100 onboard credit. Most of the time that I've gone, we've received $100 or $200 from our travel agents. And I'm going to show you how that works. Free Wi-Fi, again, and the shore excursion credit, right? But then there is a bonus amenity that as a travel agent, you can say, you know what, just because I'm feeling you guys and I love you, take one more thing, right? I just said that I received 200 onboard credit. So now I know how. I probably got it because we booked as a group. And then my travel agent threw in an extra $100 onboard credit. Or treat yourself, do $100 bonus commission per cabin. Bum, ba-da-dum. Don't you love that? Now you can also give them a free cocktail party. But the agent was like, why would we do this? Because majority of the time they're going to pick that one that says free open bar. So why are you going to give them a cocktail party if they already have open bar the entire time they're on the cruise? And I said, oh yeah, that makes sense. If they want to contribute to a fundraiser, there is $100 fundraising credit that can be received, and this would be per cabin. All right. And then they can, if they choose package 1, you can still give them the 10 photo package. If they are renewing their vows or their commitment to each other, you can throw that in. So I thought, you know, this was really cool for Norwegian to do this for us. Last but not least, this is not least, by the way, they get a lot of questions and they get a lot of emails. So they wanted us to know they do have an NCL help portal that if you click on the button in the back office tools for Norwegian Cruise Lines, you can ask any question and majority of the time it will be answered there. They said a lot of the times when we contact them by phone, by email, they go right to the portal and they look up the answer themselves. All right. So we have access to that. So that way, if it's overnight, you're trying to get that question answered, you do not have to wait. You can come here and get it yourself. This one, guys, you are going to kind of love. This one was from, now you see we're back to sideways slides, by the way. This one was from Royal Caribbean. All right. And it was telling us about a resource that they figured a lot of us didn't know about, and they wanted us to know about it. So let's get to know about it. I'm going to bring it over here. Here we go. Let's make sure you guys can see this. Yes. So this is called Loyal to You Always. So if you want to write something down, it is loyaltoyoualways.com. All right. You don't have to log in. As soon as you come here, it's going to show you offers, news, marketing, training, development, and microsites. All right. So this site, if we click on offers, it's going to show us all of the offers that's currently going on because they constantly are updating this site. All right. You can view the offer. You can download it, blah, blah, blah. Right. They're going to show us different marketing tools that we have. I want you to take a look at the left-hand side here. So they have the flyers, customizable emails, brochures, web banners, and other tools. So yes and no. I thought so too, Precious. And no. I thought so too. And I got super excited. The microsite is literally just for us, right? So she's where I'm at. Microsite, we love microsites, but their take on it and our take on it, two different things. So if you can see the down drop, which microsite would you like me to explore really quickly, guys? Utopia of the Seas, Perfect Day, Coco Cay, Icon of the Seas, Ultimate World, Icon. She said, duh. All right, fine. So when you come into the microsite, it is basically giving you everything about this cruise. And I'm with you. I thought I was going to embed this into my website, blah, 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 blah. But because it has the marketing stuff on here, I didn't think it would be right to do that, because it allows us to come here and we can create our trade flyers, our consumer flyers, customizable emails, web banners, accommodation brochures, deployment flyers. I'm just looking for the chills infograph. Look at how the infograph comes up. This is so kind of cool. And it's just taking a long time because we're on here. Yeah, this is still awesome though. This is still awesome. It's just, but look at this. Gets to the bare bones of what excitement and what deck it's on. All right. Just kind of like if you got that customer who is like, well, my kids, boom, here you go. Here's this flyer. Look at all of the stuff kid friendly that they have. And get back over here. All right. So yeah, so you can create your own clients personalized vacation. So it's in their own personalized website. So if I wanted to create a flyer for everything that they're going to do, then boom, you know, I got it right here. So yeah, Precious, that's probably what you would do with that. You would create it. I don't want to go into it now because yeah, you see, I have to log in and everything, but you'll be able to create that experience for your customer. And so they would be able to click on their own personalized trip experience and see what they're going to be able to do and all of that. That's all goody stuff. And you can go straight to book now from here, or like I said, you can, you know, look at the marketing tools that you have available for that experience. So the loyaltoyoualways.com site, I think amazing stuff that they've done here as far as what we need in marketing, because sometimes we don't know what the different cruises have on them, and then we feel like we can't find it, right? So this allowed us to do that. All right, so that's that Loyal to You. Let's keep going. So let's talk about all inclusives. And I spoke with the Sandals representative, and I spoke to the Pleasant Holidays representative. And I have some news for you guys. Let's double our commission. If you're going to book Sandals, you can go to Pleasant Holidays and book that Sandals vacation, whether you're a Sandals, whether you're in the Sandals portal or not. Go to Pleasant Holidays, book that vacation. You're going to get your commission from Pleasant Holidays. Then you take that booking and you turn over the information to your Sandals portal to say, I am the travel agent who booked this vacation. This is the itinerary number, blah, blah, blah. And then Sandals pays you a commission as well. I don't see nobody excited about being double commissioned. That was the most exciting thing I had ever heard in my life. I was like, what? 2 people will pay me commission on the same vacation? Yes. She said, girl, buy them on the site right now. So that's right. That is right. Marion, my girl, I love to see you in the room. So yes, we, with Pleasant Holidays, even not just them, it's a couple of other sites that they do that for, Club Med, other places. If you book with them, you receive the commission from them, and then you just turn over the booking to the actual place, and they still pay you commission as well, knowing that you booked it with an outside vendor that you're going to get paid commission. I'm just saying. So also with Sandals, all upgrades are commissionable. Upgrade weddings, accommodations, airfare, and more. I know you do need to focus on your Sandals. Outside excursions, think about it. Sandals have so many different things that the person can do on a property, but you still have some people that want to step off the property to do something different. So remember, when you're sending that information to that person that's going on that vacation, that honeymoon, that wedding trip, whatever it is, make sure you also send them your, I'm trying to make sure I say it right, because I've been saying Viator, but it's Viator, Viator's link, right? By the way, it's Viator, everyone, Viator. Say it again, Viator, Viator, Viator. We've been saying Viator. So remember to email your client your link, even if you're sending them directly to the link for the place they're visiting. So if they're going to Jamaica, send them the link just showing your Jamaica stuff, right? And then if they decide to book an extra excursion experience, a tour, and they use your link, then you know that they have that, they can book it right with you. All right. So just make it be known, hey, you have all of this experience here, but we want to make sure that in case you step off the place, click this link and book through this, you'll get better deals. Everybody loves to be able to get a better deal. So I just want to make sure they're getting that. All right. I did not. So Courtney had a good point. I did not have a slide for that, but if you are using RoomRez to book for your clients, or if you've never used it, this is a reason. I'm going to give you a reason why. RoomRez is now offering those tour trips, right? So you can either book the whole tour trip, or you can just book tours. And they have some tour vacations starting at as low as $350 per person. Y'all better get on it. All right, so all inclusives. We got adult only, teens and above, family. So for this one, they did give us a lot of information on it. I kind of showed you that information a little bit in the beginning, right? But I actually already kind of had this on my website. So I am going to show you my website because I'm a smart cookie. All right. So on my website, I have the sandal stuff, but if we scroll down here, we're going to talk about exactly what they were talking about there. Zoltree, Secrets, Breathless, Dreams, Now, and Sunscapes. Now, what I want you to think about is their client's need. All right. So if for Zoltree, if they are looking for, we're just going to scroll right down here. Adult-oriented, intimate, wellness, something unique. This is ideal for people who want that spa and wellness getaway, those private weddings, honeymoons, anniversaries. This is definitely going to be an adult-only experience. Think Zoltree. All right. Secrets. When you think of Secrets, again, adults only, romantic, luxurious, sophisticated, elegant. So who is this perfect for? Honeymoons, adult-only weddings, anniversaries, engagements, vow renewals, romantic escapes, and again, spa retreats. This is just going to be a little bit less money than Zoltree, just a little bit, giving them a different experience. And last but not least, for adults experiences, we have Breathless, adults only, captivating, vibrant, and spirited. So this is going to be great because this is going to have more of some action going on. Parties are going on. Having fun, getting everybody together, or just by the party, however you want. This is ideal for bachelor and bachelorette parties, social groups, girlfriend getaways, the solo traveler, LGBTQ, I forgot my Q, and travelers, celebrations and milestone travelers, and people who want adult-only weddings, right? So you're going to still have this luxurious time. Everything is going to be beautiful. But it is a little bit more laid back. They have a little bit more of that fun. Remember, Zoltree, higher end, right? Secrets, coming down a little bit, still giving you that luxurious experience. Breathless, I kind of want to party a little bit. Those are the three for adult-only experiences. Now let's look at Dream. Dream Vacations is going to be focusing a lot on the Core Zone Teens Club. All right. It's still ideal for our weddings and honeymooners, our romantic getaways, but now we're also including those families. All right. So it's welcoming, luxurious, family friendly, picture perfect, romantic. All right. But when you have teens, this is going to they do have the kids stuff as well, but I was told that this is not as fun. Oh, Sammy, take plenty of pictures. She's going to Dreams next week for a wedding, guys. So when we look at the Now resorts and spas, they're focusing again on that family oriented. It's a little bit more lively and energetic. All right. It has more of an active and modern look. So they're going to have that kids explorers club for the kids, the Core Zone for the teens. It's going to be a little bit more active for your younger guests as well, so they feel more included, but it's still going to have that modern feel. It's still going to be a little bit more luxurious. So this is still going to be a little high end. So Dreams is a little high end. Now is a little high end. Then you get the Sunscapes, and Sunscapes, like, bring them all, right? This is great for family getaways, travelers seeking unique destinations. But what does this line here say? Budget conscious yet brag worthy weddings. All right. So this is for people who are looking for family fun, that are family friendly, affordable, fun-filled, vibrant, cheerful. All right. So you see the Explorers Club for ages 3 to 12. So they're really talking about the kids in here a little bit more, right? They have passports for the kids. They have so much more for the children here. So if you are looking for that great family vacation, I mean, they talk about family in about 5 or 6 of these bullet points. All right. So this is Sunscape. This is definitely your guy. All right. Now you see why I was like, let me bring up my site because I have a little bit more, I think, definition for those different things. Now you say, what's in it for me? It's got to always be something in it for us. So I'm going to leave that on the screen and I'm going to go to, I had some other bullet points for some other things that are in it for us that they're must-haves. All right, so let's see here. They talk about the Royal Caribbean. Nope. All right, Royal Caribbean. They have PDFs that have weekly rates for agents. Royal Caribbean for agents. All right. Vax Vacations. The supplier is FunJets Vacation. They have agent rewards, agent vacations, discounted air only, $199 round trip. If you want to go to Mexico and you're booking between 30 to 60 days, it's $249 per person. I'm gonna put my face on here so y'all know I'm reading. Y'all know I'm reading, see? If you want to book within 30 days, $199 per person. I'm gonna repeat that because at first I thought it didn't make sense and then it made sense. If you want to go to Mexico and you're booking 30 to 60 days out, it's $249 per person. But if it's within 30 days, it's $199 per person. Do you know why? Because you may not get the flight that you want, right? So they're like, we might as well discount it to $199. They also wanted us to go to, and I know that one is in here. Yeah, RIU Pro for all-inclusive resorts for agents. Everything is for me. None of these things are for your customer. These are all for you. All right. So it says log your booking. So even when you book through RIU Pro and you're booking for yourself, you still log your booking in, you still report your commission, you still report your booking because you can get commission even for yourself. I was like, what the what? Marriott Hotel, travelagents.marriott.com or it was marriott.com/travel agents. You see how quick I lied to you guys? I'm gonna try that again. Marriott.com/travel agents. All right, you use Archer's credentials to register. However, you must be a CLIA card holder or an IATSE card holder in order to keep your registration. So when you first start, you're going to register with Archer's IATA card, right? IATA number. But then you need to switch it to your own IATSE or your own CLIA number in order to keep your registration, because those are the only people who can utilize that site. All right. There's also Hilton for travel agents. And they said you can Google these because she did not have the exact URL. Hilton for travel agents. Wyndham Hotels and Resorts for travel agents. In our Sandals Advisor and the incentives, we have travel agent rates, right? And her last thing was she gets a lot of those fam vacations because she created a TripAdvisor and a Yelp profile, and she's constantly giving different reviews for the hotels, resorts, and flights. And so they're always giving her something because she gets tons and tons of people that look at her review. So now let's look at this. All right, let me take me back off. So we have, like I said, Vacation Express, IATSE holders, so we all got to make that money, right? We all got to get up there. They show different airlines. They said Google them, and they're not on Archer, but you must have your own IATSE card to fly Hawaiian Airlines, Air Tahiti, or Alaskan Airlines as a travel agent to get the discount. All right. And all the other major carriers, they said go through Archer. Royal Caribbean, we know that. Discounted travel rates with weekly schedule. I told you about Vax. I told you about RIU under Book for Myself. I told you about Marriott, Hilton. Oh, I didn't tell you that Hilton and Wyndham, 40% off discount and 10% commission. That's right. Like I said, you get commission for yourself. Ba-da-da-ba-ba-ba. Love it, love it, love it. Yes, I'm loving it. So I'm going to close this out, but I have a couple of things that I want to say before I close it out. And yes, you do hear me turning pages. I attended a Q&A session, and these are some things that I want you to write down. Only do income producing activities. I know I said it before, but it was said again in this Q&A session. Only do income producing activities. Don't forget to tell the whole world you are open for business. Don't just tell your friends and family. You're not going to make money that way. Don't let your team, your family, or your friends deflate your balloon. I'm going to say it again. Don't let your team, your family, or your friends deflate your balloon. Create a more personal relationship with your agents. Now, this was a tip that I did not even think about, and I loved it. She says that she does not give the prices. When a customer asks her for pricing and they tell them what their budget is, when she is giving them quotes, she does not give them quotes with the prices. She gives them the names and descriptions of the properties. Once they determine, now here it is, once they determine which property they want to stay on, then she goes to all the different sites to see who's going to give her the best price for that place. Isn't that powerful? Here it is. I've been given just this location, that location, that location. I've been coming in their price, above their price, under their price. Whereas she's like, here is this location. And she says, and all of these are going to be within your budget, but here are all of these different places. Then she's going to go and see who's going to give her the best deal, who's going to give her the highest commission, blah, 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 blah. So I thought that was a good tip to pass on to you guys. And then because our leaders understand that sometimes we need additional help, they created a Popl site. And I want you to take this URL down. Evo, neveralone.com. On evoneveralone.com, they have uploaded either videos or playlists for some of the things that they notice people ask for the most when we call Evolution directly. All right. So they wanted us to be able to have these resources. I mean, they don't know that we have this, right? They don't know that we have this, but they put together some, and they're supposed to be adding some every day. So it's evoneveralone.com. And I wanted to bring up the team site because I wanted to remind you guys to utilize your resources, right? So if you come here and you see all of us, look at all our smiling faces. All right. Our videos are here, but this is not all. I think somebody told me they thought that these were all the videos that was on the site. And I'm like, well, do you click on any of the tabs? No. Do you click the search? I mean, I know we had problems with the search, but we fixed it. But, we have so many different, I think the last time I looked at the amount, there is almost 400 videos on this website. All right. So we have the tools that you need. You just have to start utilizing the site. All right. If you have a desktop or laptop computer, it is best to use it from there so that you can see it in full force. You can use it by your phone, but we want to make sure that you're seeing everything. So it is best to use it. If you have a home desk, a home office, use it in there. Right. Jill had asked about vacations. So Jill, there are also videos for some of those places here too, right? And it shows how to do it, where to do it. Then back down here, it says if you're going to register for any of these, this is the information you need, all right, to register for any of these. And then these have their own descriptions. So we have a lot of different cabin, vacation home, and all of that right here on the site. So, and guys, if you have agents that are asking questions, stop just providing them with the answer. Take them to the resource, take them directly to the resource so that they can grab what they need and learn how to use it. If you keep giving them the answer, they're never going to learn how to use it. They're never going to grow. All right. So what questions do we have now that we've been here for like hours? Oh, Sammy, you better take like all of the pictures. I'm telling you, we're going to all use your pictures and videos as our own marketing. I'm just letting you know right now. Because Dreams is definitely one of the places I think I want to go to. Hashtag no pressure. You know it, right? They better be the best photos ever. She's going to come back with like 2 photos. She's like, I was having too much of a good time. I totally forgot. No questions. Nobody have any questions about convention? Anything? I'm serious. Like whatever you got. Wow. I'm so shocked. All right, so I'm going to close it out, but I'm not going anywhere. Just give me a second because, you know, I have my outro going to play for us, you know.
Hold up. Beat it up like... Hands on your knees. Beat it up like...